It began with a shadow, not the kind clouds make, not the kind wars leave. This was different, a moving dark across the day, silent, heavy, like the sky itself forgot what blue was. People stopped in the streets. Phones lifted, eyes squinted. At first, it looked like smoke drifting from nowhere. Then the details sharpened. Angles, lights, surfaces that shouldn't reflect the sun, but somehow swallowed it whole. The first ship came over New York, the second over London, the third over Beijing. No sound, just presence. Government scrambled, fighters launched, and then the voice came. It wasn't in the air, it was in our heads. A single phrase, cold and perfect. You will kneel. Humanity has been measured. You have failed. It wasn't a negotiation. It wasn't an introduction. It was a verdict. The news feeds lost their minds. Twitter, TikTok, live streams, all flooded with shaking hands filming the impossible. The aliens didn't even care we saw them. They wanted us to. Then, as casually as you might swat dust from a table, they took what they wanted. Power plants shut down. Satellites dropped. Banking systems blinked to nothing. In 3 hours, the modern world was on its knees. But here's the thing about humans. We break, we bleed, and then we bite back. Somewhere in the Nevada desert, a small team of people were already moving in the shadows. Not military, not politicians, just a handful of people who had one thing the aliens didn't understand. That stubborn, irrational human defiance. And before the week was done, the sky would remember who it belonged to. The desert was quiet, too quiet. In the middle of a barren stretch, a rusted service station sat abandoned. The kind of place where the sun baked the asphalt until it shimmered like water. Underneath it, 30 feet below ground, was Site Delta 7, a facility that didn't officially exist. No windows, no comfort, just reinforced steel and shadows. Inside, a metal chair scraped against the floor. A man leaned forward, broad shoulders, unshaven, the kind of face that looked like it had seen too many wars and didn't trust peace. He didn't introduce himself. He just stared at the thing across the table. It wasn't human. 7 feet tall, skin the color of molten silver, shifting slightly as though alive. Eyes like black oil, no whites, no pupils. Its wrists were bound with carbon titanium cuffs. Not because they thought it was weak, but because they didn't have anything stronger. "You understand me?" the man asked. His voice was calm, but the room felt colder. The alien tilted its head. Then it spoke, but its mouth didn't move. "Your kind is primitive. You cannot harm me." The man smirked. "Funny, you're the one chained to a chair." The alien didn't blink. "Your resistance is pointless. Others will come." "Oh, they're already here," the man said, leaning back. "But you're the first, and that makes you special." He slid a tablet across the table. It showed images of the alien ship, its landing site, and a network of blinking red dots. "You see those? That's every signal we've intercepted from your fleet in the last 2 hours. Every frequency, every transmission. We've been listening." For the first time, the alien hesitated. Not fear, but calculation. The man leaned in. His voice dropped. "You think you've measured humanity, but you haven't seen what we do when we're cornered." In the corner of the room, a camera recorded everything. This wasn't just an interrogation, it was bait. Because somewhere out there, other alien scouts were watching, and they didn't know, they just walked into humanity's trap. The recording from Site Delta 7 didn't stay in the room. It leaked, deliberately. A controlled burn through channels the aliens thought were secure. Somewhere above Earth's atmosphere, inside a cold metallic cathedral of a ship, alien commanders watched the feed. Their language wasn't sound. It was vibration and thought, but the meaning was sharp. "One of ours has been taken. The humans provoke." They debated in perfect, emotionless logic. Humans weren't advanced enough to pose a real threat. Yet, their prisoner had been captured alive. That implied planning. Knowledge. A trap was possible. They sent 3 hunters, small ships, faster than anything Earth had ever built. Their mission: find the prisoner, erase the humans involved, leave no trace. But the hunters didn't know Nevada's desert had eyes. Above the dunes, hidden in heat haze, old military satellites pivoted, not by government order, but by something far older. A network that predated the internet. An off-the-book system built in the Cold War. Forgotten by most, but maintained by a few who didn't forget anything. By the time the alien hunters breached Earth's atmosphere, they were already tagged. Their flight paths mapped. Their energy signatures stored. Their position updated every 3 seconds. In an underground command center in Colorado, a woman with cropped hair and eyes like cut glass gave a single order. Open the net. Far below the desert, in the bones of an abandoned missile silo, a prototype weapon woke up. No sleek sci-fi elegance here, just raw human engineering. Coils the size of buses. A magnetic accelerator built to punch through asteroids. The hunters didn't see it until the first shot lanced upward. It wasn't a missile. It wasn't heat-seeking. It was a tungsten spear moving at 15 times the speed of sound. One ship exploded instantly, shredded into molten fragments. The second spiraled out of control, smashing into the desert floor in a ball of fire. The third tried to climb back to orbit, but a net of drones, each carrying a warhead, swarmed it like hornets. In less than 2 minutes, the hunters were gone, and in the silence that followed, humanity realized something dangerous. We could kill them. The alien commanders didn't expect resistance. They expected submission. Instead, they found war. Their massive ships, once floating palaces of power, became targets. Earth's skies filled with missiles and gunfire, the hum of drones weaving deadly patterns between starfire. In the heart of the conflict, a makeshift human fleet assembled. Old cargo ships retrofitted with salvaged tech, rusted but deadly. Volunteer pilots, farmers, engineers, former soldiers, steeled themselves against a foe that thought itself invincible. But the humans had something no alien weapon could match: heart. Deep in a command bunker in Alaska, a young pilot looked at her cracked helmet in the mirror. She was no hero, just a girl from a small town who'd lost everything. But tonight, she would fight for everyone she loved. The battle was brutal. Ships tore through the skies. Fire and metal clashed. Explosions turned stars to dust. Yet every time the aliens pushed forward, humans found a way to strike back harder. Every kill was a message. Every victory a spark. On the other side, the alien commanders' cold confidence shattered. Their advanced tactics met unpredictable human cunning. They began to realize something horrifying. This planet was not a prize waiting to be claimed. It was a furnace, and they were the ones being melted down. The humans were fighting back, but fighting back wasn't enough anymore. From ruined cities to hidden bases, the resistance grew. Ordinary people took up arms. Hackers broke alien codes. Engineers rebuilt weapons from scrap. In the midst of chaos, unlikely heroes emerged. A physicist who hacked alien shields. A mechanic who rebuilt fighter engines from junkyards. A teacher who taught survival skills to children with no future. Even some alien prisoners, confused by human defiance, began to question their own leaders. On a windswept rooftop in Paris, a radio crackled. Humans united. We are stronger than fear. The message spread faster than any weapon. Across continents, people saw their neighbors rise up. Borders didn't matter anymore. The world was one battlefield, and beneath the surface, a plan was forming. A strike so bold, it could change everything. In a secret war room, The leaders of the resistance gathered. The old governments had fallen, replaced by a new alliance of humans who believed in something more than survival. "We don't just fight to live," said the young pilot from Alaska. "We fight to win." The resistance wasn't just defending anymore. They were hunting. Using stolen alien tech and hack satellites, the humans tracked the alien home fleet. It wasn't just about Earth now. It was about showing the galaxy that humanity was no easy target. A fleet of retrofitted ships, smaller but faster, streaked through the void. Pilots from every nation flew side by side, bound by a single purpose. In the cold silence of space, they waited for the perfect moment. When it came, it was sudden and brutal. Missiles and plasma blasts tore through alien vessels that once seemed invincible. Surprise was humanity's greatest weapon. The battle raged across the stars, echoing Earth's own fight. Back home, people watched the news feeds, hope rising with every victory. And somewhere deep in the alien command ship, fear settled like a shadow. Humanity wasn't just fighting to survive anymore. They were fighting to take the fight back to the stars. The tide was turning. Humans were no longer the hunted. The alien fleet, once vast and terrifying, now felt the sting of defeat. They retreated, regrouped, and launched desperate counterattacks. But every strike was met with stronger defenses, sharper tactics. On Earth, cities rebuilt in the shadow of war became fortresses. People adapted, turning their homes into strongholds, their streets into battlegrounds. In a hidden lab beneath the ruins of Tokyo, scientists worked on a new weapon, one that could change everything. It wasn't about brute force. It was about understanding. Using alien technology scavenged from battlefields, they built a device capable of disrupting the aliens' communication, breaking their coordinated strikes. The first test was a success. Alien ships flickered, their connection to the fleet shattered. Chaos spread through their ranks. The humans struck hard. One by one, alien vessels fell like dominoes in space. And for the first time, humanity tasted something almost forgotten: victory. The alien commanders were desperate. Their fleet was crumbling, their strategies failing. In a last-ditch effort, they launched a massive assault on Earth's last stronghold, the rebuilt city of New Chicago. But the humans were ready. Every weapon, every shield, every soldier was poised to defend their home. The battle was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Explosions lit the sky. Fighters darted through burning debris. Amid the chaos, the young pilot from Alaska led the charge. Her squadron tore through alien ships with fierce determination. Inside the city, civilians and fighters stood shoulder to shoulder, united in one purpose: survival. As the alien flagship approached, a beacon of light burst from Earth's defenses, the new weapon scientists had built. It struck the flagship, shattering its core. The flagship exploded in a blinding storm of fire and metal. The alien forces faltered. Humanity had won the battle. The skies over New Chicago cleared slowly. The acrid smell of smoke still hung heavy, but the city stood. Scars of war marked its buildings. Shattered windows told silent stories, and rubble lay in broken heaps. But the heart of the city, its people, beat stronger than ever. For months, the last battle had been the turning point. The alien flagship's destruction was more than a military victory. It was a symbol, a beacon of hope for every corner of Earth. Humanity had faced extinction, faced a foe who called us primitive, who believed us weak. But the truth was different. From the ashes of destruction rose a new era. People rebuilt together, regardless of nationality, creed, or background. Old borders and rivalries melted away under the weight of shared survival. Science accelerated. Alien tech, once terrifying, was now a source of inspiration. Engineers and scientists worked hand in hand, unlocking secrets of energy, propulsion, and medicine. Civilians learned to pilot ships, becoming explorers and protectors. Farmers grew food with techniques inspired by alien biology. Teachers taught children about stars and planets, not just as distant lights, but as places we could reach. The young pilot from Alaska, now a symbol of the resistance, stood before a crowd in the rebuilt city square. Her voice echoed through loudspeakers. We fought not just to survive. We fought to live, to thrive, to show the universe that humanity is more than its wars. We are creators, dreamers, fighters. We are the story of the stars yet to be written. Far beyond Earth, the alien commanders watched, defeated but not destroyed. Their fear had turned to grudging respect. They learned that strength was not just power, but will. Not just technology, but heart. The galaxy was changing, and humanity was ready. Because we never gave up. We never backed down. We fought, and we won. The war was over, but the story was just beginning. Earth looked different now. Skies no longer darkened with fear, but shimmered with new stars, human-made, humming with promise. Cities once scarred by battle now thrived with life and innovation. Humanity had faced its greatest test and emerged transformed. The old world, with its divisions and doubts, had been forged anew by fire and resilience. Borders blurred, nations united. Technology blossomed beyond imagination. The young pilot from Alaska stood again before a massive crowd. This time not just Earthlings, but representatives from worlds far beyond. Allies, once enemies, now friends. She spoke, her voice carrying the weight of a planet reborn. We looked up at the stars and saw threats. But now we see opportunity. We're not just survivors of war. We are architects of the future. Together, we will explore the vastness. We will learn. We will build. Because humanity's story is not one of defeat. It is one of endless possibility. In the command halls of the alien homeworld, a quiet council met. The invasion had failed, yet a new path emerged. Respect replaced contempt. Dialogue replaced conquest. The galaxy, vast and mysterious, was no longer a place of strangers and fear. It was a place of connections, of stories woven between stars. Back on Earth, children gazed at the night sky with wonder, dreaming not of war, but of journeys. And as humanity's ships slipped silently into the dark, they carried with them a message. We are here. We are watching. We are ready. The universe had tested humanity, and humanity had answered. With courage, with heart, with an unbreakable spirit. The new dawn had come. Thanks for following this story on Sci-Fi HFY Holiday. If you like this tale of human resilience and victory, hit like and subscribe for more epic HFY stories. The stars are waiting, and so are we.